What's going on, everybody? Fall in, at attention. You are locked into another episode of the Husker Army podcast, brought to you right here by Hurrdat Sports Network, and of course the great folks over at the Husker Army Facebook fan page. Don't bother about the Husker Army Real 2024 fan page anymore. Matthew Malone got the original back, so the old Husker Army Facebook fan page is back. Like 39,000 people in the group, something like that. So you get a chance, go over, become a member there. It's a great group of people. We're part of it as well. Then, of course, if you're watching this on YouTube, folks, like and subscribe, please. It helps us out a lot. We're already sitting at 302 subscribers on YouTube. Then, of course, any other audio-only platforms. You got your Apple Podcasts, you got Spotify, the Amazon one. For the love of God, I'm going to get that name right one of these times. But you'll find us on there as well, so give us a follow on those. Leave us comments on either one. We'll get back to you right away. I usually see them the day of, so make sure to hit that bell notification icon there on YouTube as well. Let you know when our new videos are out, because looks like we got a new segment that I'm going to try and do every week now called Recon to preview that week's game. That's only if the guest works out, though. That's the only time that'll ever happen. So far, 2 weeks in a row. Great guest, Adam Carricker on last week. We have Dan Waldrop on this week. It was awesome. It was a great time. So, like I said, like and subscribe over on YouTube. And of course, we got to let you know, we got the merch. Everybody, go over to hurrdatsports.com. Go check that out. Click on the little pop-down menu or icon, whatever it is. Go check out the merch. Scroll down to the Husker Army podcast. You see it right there. We got shirts. We got trucker dad hats. We got beanies, stainless steel tumblers. We got the coffee mugs. And like I said, hurrdatsport.com. Go over, check it out. Helps us out a lot. Support the show. Become a member of the Husker Army. Like I said, we'll make you that personalized and listed graphic. As long as you tag us in a picture of you with the merch on, or, like I said, the tumblers or mugs. Don't have to be wearing those, obviously. I'd rather you didn't. So, all right. So we got through that. I'm your host, Bryan Knutzen. With me, as always, our other host, Mr. Kenny Cheatham, former Husker wide receiver and multi-time national champ. And, of course, our recruiting guru, Mr. Matt Sass, a.k.a. Herbie_Husker15 over on Twitter. Oh, gentlemen, we got to talk about a road win. It's been a little while that I can remember. But the Huskers go on the road into West Lafayette, take down Purdue 28-10. The score's a little misleading. Was not a great game, especially first half-wise. Penalties, shooting ourselves in the foot, things like that, missing field goals, just not capitalizing inside the red zone. It was in fear of not being sure if I'm using this word correctly, it was a conglomerate of shit that just happened in that first half.
Well, did you see the ref stats for the game?
No, I didn't. It had to be great.
The refs had more yards than Purdue.
Oh,
in penalties. So, I mean, I call it straight. There was flags. A lot of times we got held up. So I'm not just going to say that the refs were dog shit, but they were dog shit.
Yeah.
Like the Big Ten refs suck. They are by far and away the worst refs of any Power 4 conference. They are an absolute fucking joke. We all agree. Yeah, I mean, just admit it.
Well, yeah, we might as well talk about the big one that everybody saw and has talked about, and put Rule into a Bo Pelini type tirade on the sideline.
I said the exact same thing when it happened. I said, "Oh my God, Rule looks like Bo Pelini." I told my wife that.
Kenny, I don't know if you were watching at the time when it was happening, but my God, I hadn't seen Rule blow his top like that at all since he's been here yet.
On the
offensive PI.
Yeah, so
what
you guys know me. I don't be listening to or pay that much attention to the referee talk. There's bad calls. There's always bad calls. There's always shitty calls. You know, that's
yeah.
That was horrific call.
But yesterday was terrible. And for them to, the fact that they reviewed that play and still called it as I forgot the name. What do they call it?
Offensive pass interference.
Offensive pass interference.
Oh,
because they call it a pick play, and he said he touched him. The only touching was that guy's foot hitting his running by. It was a well designed play to where he avoided him to get him off of his line to follow the running back, which slowed him down to where the pass was caught and we scored a touchdown. So it was awful. I saw Matt Rule going nuts, but I understood. He was like, he didn't even touch him. You know, not in those words, but he was like, he didn't even touch him.
Yeah.
So that was a terrible game. I think at one point, and I think maybe in totality, Purdue may have had more penalty yards than almost offensive yards, than total yards. And it was some horrible calls in that game, man.
It broke the NCAA record for most penalty yards on a single team in a single game.
Yeah, it was horrible.
By like 20 yards.
Purdue was flagged. Yeah, it was hard to watch.
Well, the first half.
It made the game go extremely slow.
Yes.
Yep.
It was like every time something happened, there was a penalty. Now, for the ones they called, there was a ton that wasn't called.
Yep.
Because I saw a lot of holding,
a
lot of grabbing.
Yeah.
So, truth be told, after the third quarter drive, after we scored the touchdown, all I know is the TV was watching me.
Right.
I will admit touchdown, and that was it. I had enough, and I didn't even know I went to sleep.
I loved Rule's comments after the game, though, for him getting that personal foul.
Yeah, he said he was in the white. I was in the white.
Him coming out saying somebody has to fight for Nebraska, and I'm the one that's going to fight for Nebraska. So, I mean, it's... Dude, how do you not like Rule? I mean, coaching aside, but just his general, just how he goes about his daily life as a man. I respect the dude so much. I mean, that comment right there, it's just, I mean, no one wants to fight for us. Yeah, but I will. And that's why I got the penalty. He didn't say anything bad about the refs. He wanted
to.
Yeah, I mean, in real life, he's going, that was a bullshit, fucking horseshit call. Never should have happened. Fuck the refs. I mean, it was his way of saying that without saying it.
Right. Yeah. That's why he said, I'll send it in and I'll get a response on Sunday or Monday.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, well, I would want that too, because, I mean, when a play is replayed, it goes to, like, the Big Ten Command Center.
Yes.
And that's why they put the headset on. So the rep is seeing it in real time and then on the camera. And then he's talking to somebody from the Big Ten. How the fuck does that get upheld? Or do they just hate us that much?
I honestly thought maybe they quit hating us so much because it really seemed, especially last year, we were getting the benefit of the doubt on some calls. And to me, it felt like, all right, maybe the referees in the Big Ten just kind of respect Matt Rule a little bit. Well, that was shot to shit yesterday.
Oh, that was shot to shit. He's a fiery head coach, though, man. I mean, his job is to stand up for his team.
And he did.
And he does.
If there's one thing I'll say about him, and I'm not going to make it a 100% comparison, but this is just what I observed on the surface, what we're allowed to see, you know, the things we do get to see. And Kenny, I hope I'm not overstepping the line here a little bit, but I'm going to compare him a tad bit to Osborne. As far as the way he treats this team and those young men, he has their best interests in mind from start to finish. Everything is about them and nothing is about him.
You saw it this week.
Yes.
Mazuka not playing.
On a plane to San Francisco.
Yeah, he's not off the team, though. So I don't know what that's about, nor do I care. I'll find out tomorrow.
He was one of our offensive linemen, Kenny. He was the one that kind of had the short fuse like Mr. Incognito had.
Yeah, he's a head case. He got kicked out of Baylor, kicked out of Florida, and he's here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, now he's in San Francisco.
Yeah, real estate comment tomorrow. So
is that where he's from?
No.
Wonder why the hell he's heading there then.
His
clinic.
His little brother, he's like our fifth string running back, and he transferred here from Florida.
That would be why that name kept hitting my head so hard every time I'd hear it, because his brother got to play in the first game, the UTEP game.
Yeah, Mazuka started his career being recruited by Rule at Baylor.
Okay, now is it pronounced Mazuka or is it
Mazuka?
No, because I swear I've seen the C
after the Z. I've always seen it. It's almost pronounced like bazooka. I mean, I could be wrong.
Works for me.
But I thought it was always Mazuka. But
works for me.
Maybe I'm wrong. So, I mean, he hasn't played since what? Colorado. So
at least.
Or no, he played in
the
northern. No, he didn't play in Northern Iowa.
That's crazy.
He played against Colorado. Yes.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, I'll say one thing. To me, the offensive line, that's some of the best pass protection I've seen them do, not just this season, but in some years, period.
Yeah.
The run blocking was a little left to be desired in the first half. They picked it up in the second half, but that the entire game, their pass pro was on point. It really was. He had all day long numerous times back there. And once again, we got to see the level of football IQ from Raiola when nothing's there and he's got over 5 seconds back there. Get rid of it. Just toss it out, live to play another down. And he does that. He does that with no problems whatsoever. He has no qualms with getting rid of it and just playing for the next down. So, I mean, as far as Raiola goes, you get to see his stats. It's not his best stats, but it's definitely not the worst we've ever seen here. I mean, he goes 19 of 26 for 244, completing almost 9.5 yards per pass, and, of course, the touchdown throw and no interceptions. That is something I wanted to really, really bring up because I had to look this up. We're through 5 games now. We've turned the ball over only 3 times. Through 5 games last year, we had turned it over 10 times at this point.
Yeah.
And where are we sitting? 4-1. What does that tell you? You take care of the ball, even when you have games like we had yesterday where shit's just not going your way. You're not getting the calls. Things are just a little off. If you don't turn the ball over, you're probably going to win.
Yeah. Yeah, we had the turnover machine last year back there running the QB.
Yeah, well, I mean, we didn't exactly have a true starting quarterback either. Yeah. I mean, we did, but we didn't. I mean, I saw a stat that cracked me up the other day. We had 1,600 yards passing last year, 10 touchdowns, 10 interceptions, something like that. He already has 9 touchdowns and 1,100 yards.
Yeah.
Like he's going to annihilate that. And then he's got 2 picks. Both of them are controversial.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, in my opinion, I think they're both picks.
Yeah.
But it's, I mean, this is different. Rio is the best true freshman quarterback in the country. It's not even close.
Yeah, a lot of people would like to say otherwise, but they're the ones that are just the haters.
If Dylan Raiola plays for Georgia, their quarterback is benched. He's benched yesterday, and Dylan's coming into the game and probably never loses that job again.
Probably not.
And this is the dude. I mean, Carson Beck. He's considered like a top 5 pick in the NFL draft, but he played horrible in the first half.
Yeah.
So I mean, just think about that. This is a top 5 team in the country that if Dylan plays for, he probably goes in.
Yeah. I mean, they're down. What did you say? It was like 31-3 at halftime.
I think it was like 30-3 at halftime, or 31-3, something like that.
You're making a change. You're making a damn change.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. He played much better in the second half. I mean, they took the lead. So
Yeah, they did.
that's a hell of a comeback.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. One thing I will say about Raiola, I know I saw this on Twitter, and Kenny, you could probably attest to this with quarterbacks as well, especially when you know that they can be accurate with the long ball. Somebody had mentioned that he's got to quit underthrowing the long ball to receivers. My opinion here,
No,
he's doing that quite a bit to draw that PI.
not just that. He's given his receiver the best opportunity to catch the ball without putting the ball in dangerous harm.
Yeah, that can be designed, that can be coached, that can be something they practice. We don't know. So it's always easier to put yourself in position to catch an underthrown pass rather than one that's overthrown. Because if you as a receiver, here's a couple of things that every receiver should be taught. And a lot of people don't know it's basic things when playing wide receiver. One of the main things you want to do is once you get even with a defensive back and you get over the top of the defensive back, what does that defensive back have to do to get to the ball once it's thrown to you? He has to go through you.
Yep.
He's not going to be able to run around you during the time the ball is in the air to magically turn around and grab the ball. So the moment you get even and you're able to lean and get it over top, if it's underthrown and you're first man up and you jump, because remember, they should be reacting to you, and you jump and they're not paying attention and they hit you, it's a pass interference.
Yep.
So if it's underthrown, it's easier to get that call rather than when it's overthrown and you're running, hoping they grab you or something, or there's no way you're going to catch it. It's probably more of a 70% chance you get that call to 75% chance. If you jump, they run into you and they don't turn around, not playing the ball. That's automatically a pass interference if they're not looking. And even
because they have to have their head turned around too.
Yes.
So they're reacting to you. So if it's underthrown, good. It gives, like Matt said, it gives you more of a chance to get the pass. If it's overthrown, and you're going to see the ball 10 yards back and the DB doing this like he did something great like they always did.
Yep.
Catch it anyway. It's like, dude, the ball was 15 yards down the field, out of bounds. What did you do? You know what I mean? So a lot of people armchair quarterback and coach and don't really put thought into what they're saying when they say it or type it. You always have to look at big picture. I know people try to make football basic, but it's really not. It's really more complicated than what people think. And there's really nuances to the game within the game that people don't see. So when they question certain calls or question certain moves, or why did this person do this? You just don't run a straight route and that's it. From the time you line up, depending on if he's inside, outside with this person, that route might have 5 different alternative or alternate things you have to do while running full speed within a certain amount of time to get it done. So I have no problem with him throwing the ball. Look, I have no problem with how he's playing at all. I would say the game against, who was that we lost against? Yeah, I hate it. The Illinois game was probably one of his, would say that's been his worst game so far, but that was our team's worst game so far.
Yes.
Yep.
So you can't put everything on him, just like when you win, you can't give him all the credit. It's a double-edged sword. So,
but without him, we get blown out.
Yeah. So I mean, we just like we all say, it's just good for us right now. Let's just be honest, people and fans and everyone listening to us co-hosting this podcast. It just feels better that we are not cringing when we have the ball offensively and waiting for it to happen. From the running backs, the line has had their little mishaps with the untimely jumping. False start, the one we had this game, and then the missed field goal, things like that. But they haven't been as bad as it hasn't been as horrible or shitty as it's been for years that we would sit and say, "Oh shit, when is it coming?" And if you follow me on X/Twitter, everyone knows I'm going to say, "Well," I just type, "Well."
There it is.
You know what that means? There it is.
Yep.
It's there. Well, yep.
Last year, you had to hold your breath every time somebody would catch the ball, run the ball.
Yeah.
Like, you knew it was coming. Eventually, it's going to come.
Anytime anybody had the ball, period, you were like, oh, God, just go down before something happens.
And now this year, I'm like, there's no worry whatsoever.
I'm
not worried about Riola throwing a pick.
No.
I'm really not. It's dude, his decision making, it's everything. It's just perfect.
And if he does, it's going to be a contested pick. So
yeah, it's not going to be anything thrown right to the defender. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
The only time that could possibly happen is there's going to be miscommunication.
Yep,
that'll happen. So I mean, and you know, I've got it like you said, Kenny. The penalty on the false start on our second drive of the game on a 4th and 1. And then we get the false start. Then we have to go for the field goal, which we ultimately missed. Those are the things that we've constantly seen in the past.
That's silly shit.
Yep.
It's discipline.
Silly stuff. That's the type of stuff you say, why? What made you jump? Now, you're going to have penalties, but when it's stuff like that, that's when you should really be tightened in what you have to do. That's when you should really be the most focused. It's 4th and 1. We're trying to get this first down to keep this drive alive and potentially put 7 points on the board. Now it just cost us and put us in a position. The first thought should be our coach has faith enough in us to go for it on 4th and 1.
Yeah.
I just blew that by jumping for whatever reason. Now I put us back. Now he put us in a position to try for something that I know a lot of us do not have confidence in, which is the kicking.
That's right.
So, at some point, you have to sit up there and say, minimize your mistakes. And like I always go back to this, guys. Our thing was to make the least mistakes. The team with the least amount of mistakes and penalties and mental lapses generally win a game.
Yes.
We won this game because it was sloppy, and then we ended up pulling it out. But regardless of the calls, like I said, that was a shitty game. But that's just silly stuff, man. At some point, you have to say silly stuff. That's 2 weeks in a row. Well, whatever weeks in a row, we had silly stuff. Didn't we have something silly like that happen in Illinois, in the Illinois game that pushed us?
Oh, yeah.
Overtime,
numerous times.
It's silly shit. You have to look yourself in the mirror and be held accountable for that.
Yes.
Yeah, who's holding us accountable? Is it more the players? The players holding each other accountable, or is that the coaches?
Players should always respectfully hold one another accountable.
Yeah.
Respect to one another. But as a player, you shouldn't want to disappoint your teammates and your coaches. Because these are things you thought about. Do you think I wanted to run to the sideline and say, I'm sorry, Coach Osborne, I got that hold? Because it was something that was silly and I shouldn't have done it? Come on.
Yep.
Come on. I mean, and it's at crucial times. That's the worst part. Like I said,
the first half. God.
Yeah, come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, if you look at that, if you look at the phantom offensive PI on Fedoni, that takes a touchdown off the board. Hole misses the field goal after the false start on 4th and 1. There's 10 points right there off the board. Then he misses 2 more later on in the game. That's 16 points left off the board. Now, I'm not going to fault him for the last 2 because bad snaps both times. The first one was high. Buschini had to reach and snag that thing. By the time he got it down, Hull was damn near there to kick it. So the timing was thrown off from the get-go there. The second one was snapped way out in front of Buschini, and he had to reach out, snag that, and same result. The sad part is Hull didn't even really miss one of them by much. So it's
still dog shit.
It was dog shit. But at the same
after we
time,
heard all week about how well they practice and okay, we'll fucking get it right. Because this is going to lose us games. So,
like we said, snapping the ball for a field goal is a hell of a lot easier than kicking the ball.
I get it. It's just, I mean, everyone's saying right now, fire his special teams coordinator. And it's like, well, how much of it really is on him?
Well, with the things that are happening, especially the coverage team.
I know, but come on, man. It's a bad snap.
Yeah.
Like, Foley's a good dude, and he knows what the fuck he's doing. We had a great week of practice. Now, when it comes down to game time, it's a bad snap, and right. It's just, and fire Ed Foley. I mean, what's that honestly? How much is that going to fucking help? Yeah. Especially like during the season. Now, at the end of the season, I trust Roll to make that call.
Yeah, by the end of the season, yes.
But I mean, he trusts Ed Foley. I mean, he's coached with him for a long, long time.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's Rule in jeopardy of losing his job. Like, is he on the hot seat?
No.
So, I mean, Rule's going to make whatever fucking decision that he needs to. If he thinks it's dog shit, I'll trust him. Yeah. But he's saying Ed Foley's a great coach. He'll get it right.
I hope so.
It's just it's just unfortunate that this shit happens during a game.
Yeah, because
it's gonna lose us games. But
it absolutely will.
I just don't know how much Foley it is on the coaches. I mean, maybe it is just our players just not doing what they need to do at that time. I don't know, but. I'm sick of this fire coaches bullshit.
Last week it was Tony White. Last week it was Tony White they wanted gone. So
yeah, and without Tony White, we might have lost yesterday.
Might have.
Shut up.
I can almost guarantee we would have.
It just drives me nuts. I mean, stop talking about firing coaches in the middle of the season. Like, dude, all that does is say that you gave up. That's what Nebraska did when we fired fucking Frost after the Georgia Southern game. Well, shit, the rest of this season's a wash. Here, Mickey, take it. And then he won us 5 games.
Yeah.
So it's don't talk about fucking firing coaches. Our fans be better. Just be better. It drives me nuts. It's God. You fire a coach, that position group's only going to be worse.
Usually.
I'd rather them be coached the rest of the year. Whether they're good or bad, doesn't matter. It just shut up.
Hey, the bright spot in that game for me in the second half was the running. I mean, especially Emmett Smith.
And discipline.
Emmett Johnson. God, good Lord.
Smith. We got Smith out there?
I wish we had Emmett Smith out there, I ain't going to lie. Especially
as long as he's in his youth, but I will always have a problem with Emmett Smith. I have absolutely no respect for the dude. Just no.
I loved him because, the guy was just
don't fucking burn Nebraska the way you fucking did. The way you fucking did it too. No, I have no respect for you.
Yeah, he'll go on and do his own thing anyway.
I get it, but don't disrespect a program.
Yeah, if you look at our rushing stats, not bad really. I mean, altogether 161 yards on the day on 32 carries between everybody. But Emmett coming in that second half, 8 carries for 50 yards. I mean, averaging over 6 yards a carry. He was on a mission, and
he did the same thing last year at Purdue.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, I don't know what it is, but it's. I keep telling people, this guy's not just hungry; he is starving to carry this ball, and
he wants to play.
That's why I keep telling people, go back and watch that episode we had with him on with us. You'll understand what we're talking about and what everybody else that has been on his bandwagon preseason has been talking about. You'll hear it. You'll see it. You'll understand it. He wants that ball, period.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to give Emmett a lot of credit in that second half. He came out, hair on fire, chip on his shoulder, and he said enough was enough. You know, whether the hole was open or not, he was going to create one. So
he was a beast.
He really was. And then
I think clamoring for him to play more and more and more. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Dante, but he's still young. He's still young. He's missing holes that he should be taking.
Is that Dowdell, whatever that last name?
Yep.
Yeah, Dante Dowdell. He's gonna be a stud. He is. But I don't know. I love Emmett. I love his running style. I love his physicality. I love his speed. And I mean, I'm not there to watch practice every day. So I don't know, but it just, in my honest opinion, I feel like he should be playing more, and he's just not. And that's, I mean, we saw it yesterday.
I feel the same way about Gabe Irvin Jr. too.
Yeah, I mean, he played what, like 2-3 snaps?
Yeah, he almost scored on the one, and you could see the frustration when he to come out on the next play. He knew he had it.
Yeah,
he just
down there on the goal line.
Yep, just couldn't stick the ball over the goal line.
Yep. So,
yeah. So as far as the running back committee goes, I mean, it's literally, we're in game 5, and it's the same thing we saw in UTEP. It is running back by committee. There's really no clear-cut number one. And for the first time in a long time about that, I'm okay with it, because it's not a lack of talent. It's not a lack of somebody who's not going to fumble this week. It's not.
We always have fresh legs.
Exactly. It's a matter of we have 4 to 6 running backs totally capable of running this offense and being the clear-cut number one guy. We haven't been spoiled like this forever at that position.
And then you throw in Barney too. It's, oh my God.
Yes.
What Ja'Cory Barney brings to our team, it's just, he had his best game yesterday, in my honest opinion.
Oh yeah.
And he oh my God.
They found out that little pop pass, that little end around. They couldn't stop him on that.
Yeah, it's just. Those
are almost our best running plays.
Yes.
Yeah,
I agree.
Until we face a really, really like amazingly good defensive team. I mean, it's always open. But
yes,
I mean, starting next week, well, that play might not be open anymore. We play undefeated Rutgers, then undefeated Indiana, and then undefeated Ohio State.
Yeah.
I mean, you're undefeated for a reason, because you know how to play defense.
And I told everybody after that very first week when Indiana did what they did, I was like, look out.
But it was against no one.
I didn't care.
So I know.
Indiana does not put up points like that.
What, 60, 66, something like that?
And then I think in another game they put up 70 or something. So, I mean, that's not a normal Indiana offense. And that new coach they got, he's kind of Bo Pelini-esque. He don't take no shit from anybody. No. He's got those guys focused.
Well, he knows what he's doing as a head coach.
Yes,
I'm impressed, honestly. I think they said on the TV yesterday, it's the first time Indiana's been 4-0 or 5-0 since
60s.
Like, yeah, since the 60s. So good for you.
Yeah, Kenny, it ain't our granddaddy's Indiana no more.
Hey, that's what I try to tell everyone, man. People, listen, everybody, people. I don't be talking shit just to be talking. I'm talking from a place of like, hey, we can't just overlook the schedule. We can't just overlook people. So, because once again, we are not who we once were. So we don't have that right to do that. So when we're saying, hey, we might be here, we might be there, and you see me like,
yeah,
it's genuine. Would I love to see us there? Of absolutely fucking course. But in reality, I'm like, and because I know what my eyes see, and I can kind of see early, like, we're going to have a problem. We're going to have a problem. And like I said, we've made tremendous progress. We're not fumbling the ball. We're not turning the ball over. It's just still a little bit of the jumping. Our defense needs to get back focused. And as you guys' eyes can see, as everyone else's eyes can see, the other teams are doing what Northern Iowa did, which is trying to run that ball down our throat.
Yep. It's a copycat league.
Yeah, we saw that. So they're seeing some things and trying to exploit those things to keep trying to running that ball down our throat. They're saying, hey, what is it, a 3-5-3, whatever it is, whatever the defense is. And
they're like, playing the numbers, against the 3-3-5.
3-3-5. And they're like, we're going to keep doing this. They're going to have to bring someone to account for this person, and we're just going to try to wear them down. And it's not like we're consistently rotating fresh bodies in, especially at the D-line position. So
yeah,
if they're doing that and they're wearing us down, eventually they're going to get those little yards, which put us in position. And right now we're a little banged up in the secondary.
Yeah.
So next man up needs to step up and be ready. Here's your chance. Here's your shot. Jump on it and handle your business. And hopefully we can fix those little kinks and get better. But back to Matt and what he was saying about the firing the coaches. That shit is old. Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why my thing just went red. That shit is old news, man.
Yeah.
That's tiring. That's ridiculous to fire the coaches, and that's silly stuff. So look, we'll fix it. We'll be okay. Have a tough team coming up. Is it our homecoming too? I think.
Yeah.
So hopefully they win that. Rutgers, birthplace of college football, right?
Yes, it is.
Yep.
So
they're good. They are a very well coached team.
Yeah.
That's Gianna. I mean, they are a fundamentally sound team. He always has been as a coach.
They're going to come to play. Yeah, and they're going to come to play. So
and they're physical. They're going to play till the absolute last snap, just like last season. This is what he's known for. They will never give up. So we're going to have to be disciplined. We're going to have to be disciplined. 0 turnovers. Play physical. And then just let the talent speak for itself. And that's what the game is going to be.
Right.
We got to watch the running back because he's a physical little dude.
Yeah, well, that's just Rutgers in general. That's how Shiano wants to build his teams. I mean, Rule's not far off from being almost the identical head coach.
Yeah.
The only difference between Nebraska and Rutgers right now is, well, I hate to say it, but Nebraska's got a little bit more popularity, in my opinion.
Yeah.
We can recruit a little bit better. That's why we have a 5-star quarterback. I mean, just saying, what 5-star quarterback wants to go and play in New Jersey? There's probably not a lot of them. I mean, they want to win. But, I mean, if he got a 5-star quarterback, they'd win. Just like Rule.
Yeah.
He's a smart enough head coach that if he's got a quarterback that he knows he can give him to do anything and not turn the ball over, well, you're going to win a lot of games that way. I mean, this is just common sense. So
I'll say, as far as our receivers go, yesterday it goes right along with Ja'Cory Barney Jr. there. That touchdown he had on that little touch pass, that little pop pass, doesn't happen if not for Alex Bullock blocking out 2 defenders out there on that edge.
Yep.
His block took out not only his corner, but I believe the safety that was coming up to make the tackle.
Yep.
He blocked his guy right into that safety or linebacker, whichever one it was, and took them both out, and it sprung the whole thing.
Yeah, but I still say congrats to the coaches, too, because they saw it. Yeah. I mean, they knew the corners were cheating inside a little bit. So
we also got coaches that are finally not afraid to keep running something if it's working.
Yeah, just in my opinion, Sack called the right play at just the right time. He knew exactly what he wanted to do. It was open, and just the blocking was great. Like, I will admit that.
We finally stopped throwing the damn swing passes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
God, that goes for pick sixes the other way every time.
But you could see it too. Like, I mean, the second Barney would go in motion on every play, they keyed up on him.
Oh,
just because he was torching them.
They were scared to death of it.
Yeah, and just it still works. So Barney's a stud. I mean,
he's got.
I thought he was just going to be eased into the offense all year.
No.
2-3 times a game, get the ball. And now, I mean, dude, he's a real weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Weapon.
Here's my honest take. I honestly think him and Jalen Lloyd are interchangeable. It's the same.
Oh, yeah, I agree.
Same thing.
But we don't use Jalen the same way.
Right. But last year they did for little stuff like that. Now you have two. They tried it on the double reverse thing, which I said, oh, we got too cute at that position at that point in the game to do that. But you have two of them you can kind of put in the mix and give them a little space to do it. And what people forget is Jalen makes big catches and timely points in the game. So, I mean, 17, he can go. I like how Jalen, he can go. You got the guys out wide. You can get him the ball. We have a pretty decent receiving core, pretty good receiving core. I thought it should have been a pass interference on the play before the touchdown. If you go back and watch it, the defensive back was holding his arm.
Yes.
Prior to that.
The one Nayor should have had over the middle. Yep.
The one on the sideline.
The sideline. Okay.
If you pay attention to it, he held his arm the whole time. That's why he was able to be in position to do that. But, you know, hey, man, there's a lot of things that we're doing a lot better on in which we've improved. If you look at that, I see Fedoni had the 3 catches for 39 yards. I think at times they try to force him the ball. They should let him work the middle more. He's not a deep down the field threat. Just work him in the middle and let him get it to open it up for the people out wide. Like I said, Ramir can catch the ball out of the backfield. Nayor had his one. He only had one. Barney's explosive when he gets it. Banks had his catch and the touchdown. So
Banks going 5 catches for 82. I'll take that.
Because they double team Nayor on almost every passing down.
Yeah, we can play pitch and catch out there. We can get it to him. We just have to get it to him.
Yeah. Teams are starting to key on Nayor. I mean, they know that's our number one. So it's what it is. But luckily, we have a co-number one in Banks or Barney or Lloyd or Thomas Fedoni. So, I mean, that's the luxury of having a quarterback that can sling the ball and get it all around without worry of him putting the ball in dangerous harm.
Yeah.
Right. The only time he does it is when it's a 50-50 ball. I mean, these are called plays, too.
Yeah.
He's not just throwing it up like praying for a miracle. I mean, I almost guarantee that's the call. Here's the throw. It's a 50-50 ball. Make the receiver go up and get it.
Now, if I have one last piece of criticism, though, for Satterfield, for the love of God, please, and I've been saying this for years about any offensive coordinator, when we're in a 3rd or 4th and 1 or we're down on the goal line, will you please stop going in shotgun?
Yeah.
Line up in the eye. Sneak the damn ball. Use the push with the 2 biggest guys you can put in the backfield behind Raiola and shove his ass in.
The tush push.
Cute. Stop getting cute.
Yeah. My biggest criticism is how are we not running more play action?
Oh, that's a great question because our running backs are
that's what I want to see. Is we have 4 capable running backs of starting any given Saturday, and we're not running the ball enough to run play action.
And the times they do, we're getting open receivers.
I mean, we should be in the pistol set, under center. That's my honest opinion. That drives me crazy. But how am I going to complain also when Dylan Raiola doesn't turn the ball over?
I know.
He's constantly hitting wide receivers. So, I mean, our wide receivers, in my honest opinion, could be even more open if we have a solid run game and then run play action out of the pistol set. But that's just me.
No, that was common sense what you said. But that's what I was going to say. If we really running it, it opens that up. Yeah,
of course. Because I mean, you just play the numbers at that point, just like Illinois did against us.
Yeah.
I mean, if you got 5 men in the box, throw the ball. You got 3 men in the box, run the ball. I mean, this is what Illinois did against us the entire game. And it just, oh, God, it just drives me crazy sometimes.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
But we're moving the ball, so I don't care.
Hey, man, you hit me with another Diddy moment.
God.
This guy said, I had to process that. You literally said, line the 2 biggest guys behind him and push his ass in.
Ah, shit. Shit. I got my Diddy moment. Son of a bitch.
I said, hey man. hey man.
You know what? If you go and look, if you go and look at football commentary on TV, there's a lot of Diddy moments. A lot of Diddy moments.
You want to talk about new segments on the show? Like,
God.
There you go. We got one. How many times has this been brought up the last couple episodes?
Oh man.
Fuck.
That was crazy.
And the Diddy moment of the week goes to the referee. Whatever.
You're right. I gotta make a new graphic. Oh shit.
That was diabolical right there, bro. That was crazy.
Hey, you're welcome. I'm glad I could be of service, dude.
That was crazy. Wow.
Oh, I love it. Oh shit.
That's what you were texting me the other night too. While I'm trying to watch football and you're cracking me up like a motherfucker. God.
It's crazy.
Oh.
As far as the defense goes, I mean, they played great. They didn't bring my score prediction to fruition, which I called for a shutout. But by God, they were close. God, they were so close. But they held, what is it, 224 total yards by Purdue.
Yeah.
So, and not to mention, we won the time of possession. We won the turnover battle. You can see the penalties, though. I mean, we had 11 for 94. They had 13 for 165. That's ridiculous. You look at their rushing yards. We held them to 50 yards rushing. I mean,
excellent. That's excellent.
Defense came in with a plan. And Card really didn't have a bad day as far as completion percentage goes. He was 18 of 25. So that's not a bad day, but he only amounted to 174 yards through the air as well. I got to give props to our defense. And then not to mention the stop on 3rd and 2 in the third quarter by Bullock and Gifford to force a field goal. Huge.
Yep.
Was huge. And I mean, when I say stuck, it was a stone wall. As soon as Bullock met him, no more inches were given, period. And no, Kenny, that is not another Diddy moment. Not another one. Not another one. I promise you. He gave no more ground. How about that? He didn't give up any ground. How about that?
Yeah.
This guy.
You go, Kenny, you go kill my ass.
And
you go
Bullock's
kill me with
pick,
these. The pick
Bullock's
six.
pick was
Six.
phenomenal. That's the understanding of the game within the game.
Yes.
He said after the game, he's like, I knew it was coming. They've been baiting us basically, and I jumped the route. And it's like, good for you. That was phenomenal. And then the flag came in right before he went into the end zone. I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
I was waiting like
immediately, and then it was on that, and I was like, oh my God, finally.
Thank God. It stands. It stands. And it was, I mean, great job.
It was beautiful. I mean, 2 touchdowns in under a minute. Oh God, it was
perfect. It's what we needed.
It was beautiful.
And
Bullock is slowly beginning to be our best player on defense.
Yes, he is.
So, I mean, he's a stud. I mean, I was a little worried before the season started about linebacker, especially after they said Javen Wright was going to miss extended amount of time. I was like, oh, shit.
Well, speaking of, that's right. I saw him.
He was in yesterday.
That's what I thought.
So, finally.
Good.
But does he work his way back into the starting spot? We'll see. But regardless, he's great depth. He's got extensive playing time. So, I mean, you can never have enough depth.
No. And great job by Bullock avoiding the tackle as well after the interception. Granted, the guy kind of gator armed him a tad bit, but it's good job. I didn't think he was going to score. I thought he was going to get tackled when he cut it back into the middle. I was like, oh, no, not there. But he got it. I was couldn't have been more happy for him. It was what we needed. It was 21-3 at that point. Then the pick 6 in less than a minute after that score. So 28-3 all of a sudden. Great job by the Black Shirts. Can't say enough about them. they did their job all day long. I mean, they only gave up
Yep.
10 points, and the touchdown was in just mop-up time. So
Yeah.
I'm more than happy with the Blacksters. The way they rebounded from last week's showing against Illinois, I'm okay. I'm A-okay with where they're at, how they're looking. And, yeah, I can't complain one bit about what they did.
Yep.
They did a good job
our run
avoiding
defense
penalties.
I thought our run defense was way better.
It was way better, yes, especially
So-
with that Maccabee back there. He is a slippery son of a bitch, dude.
Yeah, and he's a big dude.
Is that the
But,
kid
I mean-
from a couple years ago? It looked like they made him
Yep.
lose weight. It looked like
Yeah.
they made
Yep.
him slim down.
But
Yeah, that number 45 or whatever it is.
Yeah.
just the way that we filled all the gaps, and I mean, I'd still like to see us hold the edge a little bit better. But I mean, running between the tackles, hey, there was no lane open the whole game.
No.
So I
No,
was,
he had to create
happy
one if
with
he
that.
wanted one.
and our secondary, we're banged up. So
Yeah, we are.
I'm not going to say a whole lot about that. And I'm still amazed we haven't seen Bly Hill really play yet. I know.
Yeah.
I mean, I know he's still hurt. So okay, but no, Zaire Wright. I mean, he is a breath of fresh air, in my opinion.
He had himself a day. He had himself,
Yeah.
and even on a bum knee, he was having himself a day.
That's the only time he got beat, and that's
Yeah.
why Jeremiah Charles was coming in. But I thought he was fine.
Yep, he did.
He
just
was fine. The touchdown, I think, was against Jeremiah Charles. But-
Hartzog even had a hell of a day. I think he had 4 pass deflections
Yep.
himself. Yeah, the secondary, even though they're banged up, I mean, they came to play. They really did. They weren't allowing. They did exactly what one of my keys to winning that game was on defense, and that was locking down receivers.
Yep.
By God, they did. There's a few times that they did settle down in the soft spot of the zone and get those easy, like 8 to 12-yard throws, but it wasn't happening all game like it was with Illinois.
Correct. So I agree.
Oh, thank God. All right. So, well, since, this week was a little easier to digest, we'll actually go ahead and we can actually, I suppose, go ahead and bring up Husker Twitter this time. It wasn't half bad. Thank God. There were some idiots out there, but most of it I agreed with, but there were just some morons out there that...
Oh, they're horrible.
Unbelievable. Either for one, you just get on board because you don't know football, or you just shut up because you don't know football.
Yep, pretty much. They're fans that are a little too happy or a little too angry. But hold your tongue.
I'd use
Shut
the word
up.
fan. I'd use the word fan very, very loosely in that.
I agree. It's just, oh my God. Can you just shut the fuck up?
No, some of them can't.
Unless you're a coach, dude. I mean, just shut up. Just please. Just like BA, the coach's show.
I love Ben.
Yeah, dude, he is phenomenal.
He's
I
usually
love
spot
it.
on with his take too.
He's always spot on, and that's why I'm like, yeah, because I take a lot of things that he says and I use them for the same cause. It's just shut up.
Yes.
Just watch the games. Don't comment about it. Just shut up.
Kenny's said it for years. Quit yapping. Just shut up.
Yeah, it's my God.
Because it's like I said, the one show. What do you want? You're gonna find something with everything. That's crazy to me. It's crazy.
Yep.
We won. Be quiet.
Yeah,
We
he,
won.
I mean, he could be the most perfect touchdown pass on earth, and somebody's gonna fucking comment and say, "Oh, the center didn't block well enough." Shut up. We scored a fucking touchdown. They did their job.
Right?
Shut up.
Crazy, right? Absolutely.
I know. It's God.
Yeah, let's see. What do we got first here? Yeah. At Caleb Henry. Caleb Henry over on Twitter. Says, you're at the 1. Get under center and QB sneak multiple times. Why is every short yardage situation a pass or trying to jump over the line?
I can answer that real quick. That's plain and simple. It's we don't want to get Dylan hurt.
I agree.
So that plain and simple is right there, and we have 4 running backs that should be able to get the fucking ball across the goal line.
Hey, if that's going to be the case, then throw Harbor again at quarterback.
Or that.
If you're
Or
going
don't
to do
run
something
out
like
of the
that.
fucking shotgun.
Thank you. Just
That's all.
You can make it obvious what you're doing. If you're good at what you do, they're not going to stop it.
Touch push is legal. Fucking
Exactly. You put 2 of the biggest guys we've got in the backfield, and you make sure they push. That's it.
Yeah, just fucking. Well, no.
Did that
Never mind.
sound
It's
better,
not
Kenny?
legal
Just
in
telling them
college.
to push?
Your
All
running
right.
back can't push. That's right.
Yeah.
Your running back can't push. You can't help.
Oh, they can now.
Can they?
Yeah. You'll see it numerous times throughout the weekends.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's why they
Yeah,
call it
pro.
the push.
I know it's not illegal in pro, but I thought it was illegal
Nope, not anymore
in college.
Not anymore in college. Now you
Okay.
can just shove them through, dude.
All
All
right.
right. So, yeah, I totally agree with that. That's why I touched on that. I've never understood why you try and go and shotgun in those short yardage situations, or you try and get cute with a double reverse or an end around or something like that, where you're putting the ball already 6 to 7 yards behind the line of scrimmage that you need to gain. So I've never understood it. When it's right there in front of you and all you need is a fresh set of downs, take it. They're literally letting you take it. So I agree with Caleb on that one. It's been irritating me for years and years. I don't understand it. I'm not saying let's go back to being strictly I and power I and running nothing but option and ISOs. No. But in situations like that where you just need a fresh set of downs or you need a yard to put 6 on the board, do it. Who gives a damn about anyone else's stats? Come on.
They're reading the defense too. I mean, if there's an
Defense
option
be
call on
damned.
it, I get. I mean, because if they're just loading the box and doing an all-out blitz, the wide receiver might be able to spring loose for a wide open touchdown. So
I've never agreed with it.
It drives me crazy too. But that's because we're old school Nebraska fans where all we did was run the ball.
But we know that we see other teams do it every week.
I know.
They know they can do it. All right. Yeah, that's God, just one time. One time this season I want to see him just be smart. All right. Ruler of Husker Nation, at ruler of NEB. Nebraska is 4-1. Man, that feels and looks so good. Kind of glad the way this game went on the road. After a devastating L at home in OT, they came out of the gate not pretty in any aspect of football. They played a beautiful second half, resilient, momentum into Rutgers. Got to agree there, guys. Kenny, look, we're 4-1, dude. What can we bitch about?
Being 4-1, like they're finding something,
exactly.
like they're finding something to complain about. Do you remember what was that 0-something start? Do you remember those
0-6?
games?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. I mean, it's
but
tiring.
when we go 0-6, then they're trying to find things to be encouraged about.
Exactly.
I know.
It's really deflating when you look at it as what we do as podcasters, what we do as fans, and what for me as a former player. It goes back. What are you complaining about? We're 4-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, we shouldn't have lost that game, but we're still 4-1. We're 2 wins away, even though I despise it from being bowl eligible.
Yep.
Because I always want to see better. But we're right there. So let it happen. Cheer them on every week. And sit back and relax.
Yeah, just enjoy it.
Enjoy. I mean, everyone who tweets and says those things. Let me stop talking a little slower. Let me speak fast so you can understand. Everyone who tweets and says those things and have this misery because we're 4-1. I'm pretty sure your Saturdays are much better, and I'm pretty sure your Sundays are much better than they were when we were in the shithole and in the dumps after losing in horrible fashion every Saturday for the last couple years. Because if you were like me, once they lost, my Saturday was ruined, and I was going into Sunday pissed. And if a team I liked in professional football lost, that made my Monday the worst, and I would be upset. I had to retire from fantasy football because of that shit, because I would be so pissed at Nebraska and the Dallas Cowboys on Monday that I would forget about Monday's games and putting in people and all that type of stuff. So chill out. Just relax.
Well, my Colts are winning right now, so I'm a pretty happy dude.
I mean, come on, man. Come on.
Yeah, we got to quit complaining about where we're at right now, because not only are we 4-1 right now, which is still our best start since 2016. As far as turnovers go, which, like you said earlier, Kenny, not just last year, but even a few years prior to that, we were a turnover machine. And we've turned it over 3 times in 5 games compared to 10 in 5 games last year.
What I don't understand is we're Nebraska fans. We watch every single game. You watched every game last year, and you've seen every game this year. Are we a better team today than we were last year?
There's some that would argue no.
And
I don't get it.
It's bullshit. I see it every fucking game. We're not turning the ball over. I mean, there's still penalties that needs to be cleaned up. Dude, we are probably 50 times better than we were last year. Shut the fuck up. Just enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Some don't know how to have nice things.
No, they don't know how to enjoy it. They're so used to just being miserable.
That's probably a lot to do with it.
I know, and they're just waiting for the collapse to happen. Okay, well, what if it doesn't happen? Then what? Like, if we make a bowl game, now you can't complain about anything because you get what you wanted.
No, they'll complain about it being
not
the bowl game they want or something.
Probably. And it drives me nuts.
All right, Mitch Sherman. All right, it's just a screenshot there of Rule's presser after the Purdue game. So he tweeted out, Nebraska coach Matt Rule on the penalty he received for throwing his headset after a second-half holding call on wide receiver Jamal Banks. He was quoted as saying, "Someone here is going to have to fight for Nebraska. I'm going to fight for Nebraska." End quote. Damn right. Now, Kenny, like you heard me say it almost at the start of the show here, I see a lot of comparisons in Rule to Osborne. Is that something that you guys always felt with Osborne back then, that he was going to fight for you guys no matter what?
Absolutely. And believe that it was mutual on our end as players. So when you come out and your team knows that you're going to back them 1,000%, right, wrong, and indifferent. And with the wrong, you're going to coach them up so that they get it right. And when they come out and say things like this, it only makes you fight harder for the coach as well as your teammates. People have to understand, our greatest disappointment was coming over there disappointing Coach Osborne.
Yep. Or McBride.
We didn't want to do that to have him, hey, Kenny, okay, coach. And that's all it took. It wasn't a lecture. It wasn't in meetings getting beat up. It's hey, Kenny, you got to make sure you just do that a little bit, because that way we would have been able, okay, coach. That's it. So we played to be trained to be disciplined and to minimize our mistakes and to not do dumb stuff. So when you hear that as a player, you say, okay, he's going to fight for us. Because sometimes as players, you do feel, because we've been bad. No one's fighting for us.
Yeah.
And they're letting that call go. They're letting that hold go. And you see someone standing up for you in that manner and saying it to put it out to everyone else. Conference, referees, look at, hey, I'm going to fight for my boys and what we have going on here. If something's not right, I'm going to say it respectfully, but that bug is in your ear that I'm not going to keep tolerating this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, that's what you want to hear as a young man, because people always have to remember these are young men. You're leaving your home. You want to be put in the hands of people that you know are going to be fighting for you on the field and off the field, as if you were one of their own, as if you were their child, and protection of you, not only for them in coaching and football and sport, but just in general. So to hear that, it made me say, okay, I like that, because you guys know me. I'm not big on football talk. I'm not big on cliches, stuff like the same shit so-and-so said.
You ain't the rah-rah guy.
I'm not that dude. I don't want to ask football talk. That press conference, that was shit. But for him to say that, and for them to see it, because we all saw it. Let's be honest. We all saw the stuff. And like when he said,
he didn't have to say a word. We saw exactly what he was doing.
I'm on the sideline. So, I'm in the white. I just threw my headphones down. I thought I'm protected if I'm in the white. Why are you throwing?
And he took that penalty at an exact time where he knew it wasn't going to hurt us massively.
Yeah, and then Emmett came back and had to. I think it was a catch and run, and got those yards back and all that. But
we already had the lead. The game was pretty much in hand. I mean, I think we were right.
You see it in other sports, and you say he took that for his team, which you mainly see in college basketball and NBA basketball.
Or pro baseball.
Yeah. He took that to send a message to them, what's going on, setting the tone for next game, and et cetera, et cetera. So I think next game, calls will be different.
Yep.
I think done differently. So that was great to hear. It was good to see. It makes you feel good, man. Like I said, I'm not the rah-rah dude, but that's what you want to hear. That's what you want.
Yeah.
Hey, salute to him. Like I said, he's growing on me. You guys know I don't like coaches. I think they're all car salesmen. But hey, he's growing on me.
Rule is though, but that's just me.
Yeah, but
I think he's honest and sincere.
Yeah, so
right.
I like what he's doing. I like where the program's going. So fans, chill out once again.
And you like the message?
Let's see. Oh, I loved it.
That he's coaching.
Yeah,
the standard doesn't put anything above it. I mean, if he was a car salesman, he lets Mazuka play just to try and win games. But he stuck to his word. He's going through some things.
And this is what this is what people, like I said before, big picture with him. Dude understands what it takes. He played at Penn State as far as what expectations are. And people, and I say this with all due sincerity, Nebraska's in a place, even though we have more championships, and we're complaining about this, but what school has done well with a coach and complained about it still? This is how you know you're a great program, historic program, but it's like you never happened. Penn State. Yep. This guy wins 9 wins a year, 9 to 10 wins, and they're complaining.
Yep.
We need to get out of that. And maybe we are back to that 9, 10 win a year team and every other season playing for a national championship. Embrace it and accept it. But I like what he's doing because he knows expectations. Scott knew expectations. Unfortunately, it didn't work out. But
I agree.
He knows what's expected. And I keep saying he knows what's expected because he knows you can't walk into Penn State and have that attitude. So he knows what the tradition of Nebraska football is. He knows what needs to be done to get it back to where it's at. There's certain programs you walk into and you say, this is it.
Yeah, this is real. I have to be good here.
You can't walk into it and say, that was okay, but we'll just – and that's what Buddy had after Coach Solich, which was totally unacceptable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He kind of brushed it off I think we're having a good year. Dude, no, you're not. You're not. You just got a 70 ball at Texas Tech.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? It was no, dude. It's not acceptable. But I like what he's doing. Hopefully he can stay a while and get it done, get the kids in, and just keep building on Nebraska football. So,
hey, man, that's how I feel.
Let's go.
Hell yeah. All right. I love this guy on Twitter. Fully husked at Big Red Fishing. I love this dude. He's always got some pretty good tweets. He just tweeted, I love that unsportsmanlike on rule.
I'll be right back real quick, guys.
Hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, you're good, Matt. Yeah, like I said, he just says, I love that unsportsmanlike unrule. Let these scummy refs hear it.
Scumbags.
I agree. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it most of the show here. It was the worst I've ever seen in a game. Period. I can't believe where it's gotten.
Yeah.
I tweeted out, for God's sake, my wife was watching the game with me. Like I said, I tell people all the time, my wife is not a football fan. She doesn't. It's not that she dislikes it.
Some people are not football fans, right?
Yeah, she just doesn't care either way. But she supports it. She supports the Huskers because of me. But she's watching this, and after that game, she's like, all right. I'm find out what it takes for an application to become a Big Ten referee, because I'm literally half blind and I guarantee I could do much better. So I said, baby, you got my vote. That is for sure.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, a lot of people enjoyed reading that tweet. So I was like, hey, baby, you became a little popular overnight. They enjoyed it. So,
That's
yeah.
funny.
All right, let's see. We got just two more
sorry.
here. Oh, you're good. We were just about to move on to the next one. Just two more.
Yeah, you're
here.
right though. Fully Husk, he's the man.
Oh,
he's
God.
hilarious.
That guy's good. And I
Yeah,
love the
he's
name.
good.
I love the name. It works out. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Yes, this was just from the Nebraska football account at Husker Football. I agreed 100%. That's why I took it. This was the right win at the right time. You just got a picture of Banks there celebrating, Raiola celebrating, and Sierra Wright walking off the field. I agree. That's exactly what we needed right now after that game against Illinois. We needed a game like this where we were still tested, but we overcame the issues. We overcame the stupid penalties. We overcame just the sluggish start. I mean, to not score any points in the first half, that was ridiculous. And it's not like we didn't have our opportunities. We just shot ourselves in the foot at the time. So this was the right win at the right time. I just agree with that 100%. We needed it.
Yeah.
And then the final one we got. Yes, Big Red Football. At Big Red Football 7. And it's just a picture there of Emmett Johnson from one of the night games we had here in Lincoln. And it just says, RB1 going forward. No further questions at this time. Emmett ran like he deserved it. He really did. And like I said, that episode we had him on, we know he's able, he's capable, he's hungry, he's starving. He wants.
He's fast. He's powerful. He's
everything you ask for.
I agree.
Humble, patient.
I'm not saying the comments are wrong. I'm not. But
no,
I like Dowdell. I like Ramir.
So do I.
I like Gabe. Again, I'm not there at practice. I wish I was. I mean, believe me, I would be at every practice if I could.
Yeah.
And Brian, you would too.
Yes,
I mean, Kenny, well, maybe not you. But
Kenny's like, the hell with that shit. I'll just
yes, with my own two eyes. I mean, I love Emmett. I love what he brings to the table. He's a perfect combination of size, speed, physicality. But I don't know. I don't understand why he doesn't play more. Well, is it pass protection? Because we want to throw the ball so much more?
He made a hell of a case for it. Made a hell of a case to move up.
That's all.
All right, last thing we've got to go now on is, of course, our field generals of the week. I'll go ahead and scroll that at the bottom first. Then I got to get the graphic. But there you go.
You see it couldn't agree more.
Yep, on defense, John Bullock gets it again for the second time this season. I mean, the pick six he had, and not to mention, he was all over the field. He made that huge stop on that 3rd and 2 in the third quarter to force a field goal with Gifford. He had an amazing game. And then on offense, I had to go with Ja'Cory Barney Jr. I mean, he started to show his explosiveness, his speed. He's a threat around that edge. You let him get around there and bye-bye. It's over. Forget about it.
It's him or Riola.
Exactly.
Or Gatula. In my opinion, Gatula, he filled in for Kokorin.
Yeah.
Phenomenally. So I had absolutely zero complaints.
And Barney, I thought, did great running routes as well. He caught some passes, but those pop passes or end around, whatever you want to call it, great job by him. Great job getting to the edge.
Barney's a stud.
Yeah,
Plain and simple.
it's just touching the tip of the iceberg with him, I think. So there you go, everybody. Our field generals of the week. We're going with John Bullock on defense and Ja'Cory Barney Jr. on offense. I think it's warranted. I think it's fair. It was kind of tough on defense to actually pick one, but it was the pick six that sealed it up for Bullock. There were some other guys I think I could have picked. Sierra Wright, he had a right to be in there.
He had a decent game. He gave up a lot of yards, but that was after he got hurt.
And Hartzog having his 4 pass deflections himself. Ty Robinson disrupting the timing in the backfield. And then James Williams, number 90, that Russian we've got, he is really starting to come along. So, I mean,
Williams has to get better at the run.
Yes.
He's a great pass rusher. No one denies that, but I mean, they're keying in on him.
Yeah. But there were plenty of guys on that defense that maybe could have gotten that, but man, you get a pick six and then that stop on 3rd and 2. You got
Robinson's wide open, blew through the offensive line for the sack. That was beautiful. I'm selfish because I hate opposing quarterbacks, of course. I love watching defense. I wanted Ty Robinson to hit him. He held up.
Yep.
And okay. But I wanted him to just absolutely fucking destroy him. I mean, if he wanted to hurt Hudson Card, he would have.
Oh, he could have. He easily could have on that hit.
That's not Ty Robinson. I'm going to do my job. I'm not here to hurt anyone, but I am going to do my job. So I commend him for that.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. Well, that was it. I mean, that's it for my graphics. That's it for any text that's going to scroll across the bottom there. All in all, look, it's a W. 28-10. Yeah. We're 4-1. We got Rutgers this next week at home in Lincoln. Then we got, I believe, the bye week before Indiana. So we've got a stretch coming. Then Ohio State after Indiana. We got a stretch.
All undefeated the next 3 games.
That's right. So
it'll be fun.
Right, yep. We're going to have a blast, aren't we? I mean, Kenny, look, you even said it, man. 4-1. Stop the damn complaining and let's enjoy it.
Not hard. It's not hard to do.
I gotta show you guys this real quick. My baby boy.
Peeking around a corner.
So that's what you're hearing on the outside.
Got the little Sass running around.
Yeah.
And then of course my oldest has to peek in on me too.
Well, yeah. I know it's kind of a bummer that I started doing all this when I'm
in the middle in underwear.
What do you got on his underoos?
Of course he does. Him and his Spider-Man underwear.
Oh yeah, your basic male toddler attire, dude. That's what that is.
Keep me fresh.
Yeah.
They just know I'm recording, so they got to bother me.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
That's a boy toddler. Like suit right there is just underwear. That's all you need.
Standard procedure.
Yeah. He's 5. He can get away with it. It'd look a little different if I did that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's you might catch a charge at our age if we did that.
Hey,
especially with me on my front porch.
Hey, if you did that, I would think you one of the basement dwellers who like to sit in drawers, tank top, and eat cereal all day. I'm like, that dude's got some body somewhere. There's somebody somewhere.
See, again, this is another Diddy moment. Come on.
No,
Oh my God.
this is some John Wayne Gacy type moment. Hey, this guy's in the drawers in the basement eating cereal all day. Hey, that's a killer.
There's a Buffalo Bob type moment going on here. I don't know what this is. Oh, what the hell is going on here?
Hey,
Oh, you guys don't gotta worry. I think I'm very far away from that. So thank God.
I'll just blame it on dementia if I ever do it. Why not? Folks will believe it. All right, guys, let's go ahead and shut her down now. I mean, hell, hour and 20 minutes, right on. I'll take that anytime. So, guys, you know where to find the show at this point. Just Google us, Husker Army Podcast. We're one of the first, if not the first thing that pops up. You'll find us on YouTube. Definitely give us a like and subscribe on there. Make sure to click that bell icon, and you'll know when our new videos are uploaded. Then, of course, the audio-only platforms, you've got Apple Podcasts, you got Spotify, whatever the hell the Amazon one is. I'll write it down one of these days so I remember it. But, yeah, pretty much any audio-only platform you'll find us on. Give us a follow on those as well. Leave a comment on YouTube. We'll get right back to you. Give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram. You see Kenny's right there. You'll find him at HuskerNoop1911. You'll find our recruiting guru, Matt Sass, on Twitter. He is Herbie_Husker15. And, of course, you got us, just the Husker Army Pod. You'll find us at Husker Army Pod on Twitter and Instagram. Give us a follow on there. We love interacting with you guys. It's always great to do. That's why we do Husker Twitter. And then, of course, please check out our merch. That is on HurrdatSports.com. Go check that out. Become enlisted into the Husker Army. We love it when we get new people in here. It's always a blast. It's great to see you guys support us. You've been supporting us since day one, and we could not thank y'all any more than we already have. So
yeah, I'll even come out and say, if you guys ever have any questions, I'm pretty sure we're all open to take them. So
easily,
if you want to message us any questions, especially for me, recruiting wise, I know there's a big one right now. Just decommitted from Oklahoma. Everyone wants to know what's going on. That's wait and see.
Okay.
So, but
yeah, it's another good thing.
I love our chances with him. He coached for Jamar Mosey, or he played for Jamar Mosey. So yeah, I love our chances. So we'll just see where it goes.
And that's a great idea.
But ask me questions. I'm always on Twitter.
Yeah, our DMs on Twitter and Instagram are always open. So at the Husker Army Pod, if you want to send us just a random question, we'll get it on the show. We'll answer it for you. So no big deal whatsoever. So
gotta be respectful when you ask me a question.
Yeah, well, of course.
Yeah, if you don't with Kenny, trust me, you're not going to like your response.
If you're disrespectful to me, I'm going to post it on X and give my reply so everyone can see it.
That's right.
Just I will put you on blast. I'm not doing this. I love Husker football.
Yeah, we don't deal with fake asses.
Yeah, you want to be disrespectful or anything like that, I'm going to put you on blast so everyone can see, and then everyone can make their own judgment off of it.
That's right.
I'm not doing it. But No one's been disrespectful.
Nope, I haven't seen one yet, so I think we're good there. So, yeah, that's about it. You know where to find Kenny. You know where to find Matt. You know where to find us as far as the show goes. And I think there's only one thing left to do, as we do at the end of every episode. Husker Army, you know what to do. At ease, you are all dismissed.
A Hurrdat Sports Network production.